Hello, everyone, and welcome. As students of Europe Hotel School, you are the future leaders of our industry, and your goal is to create truly unforgettable guest experiences. But before any of that can happen, there's one hurdle every great leader has to clear: the grand opening. So today, we're going to dive deep into the one thing that separates a smooth launch from a chaotic one: the operational simulation. Let's just start with the hard truth, shall we? I have seen it time and time again. The single biggest mistake a new hotel or restaurant can make is thinking they can skip this final step. And the result? It's almost always a complete mess on day one. We're talking about chaos that can seriously damage your brand's reputation before you've even had a chance to shine. So you have to ask yourself, how do the top professionals, the ones who seem to open new properties so flawlessly, how did they avoid this disaster? Well, I can tell you it isn't luck. It's a disciplined, structured process. And honestly, it's what separates the amateurs from the true experts in this field. All right, so let's get into it. Section 1, the brink of chaos. To really understand why the solution works, we first need to appreciate the problem itself and understand the very real stakes we're playing with. So what exactly is an operational simulation? You can think of it like the final dress rehearsal before a huge opening night. It's the critical moment where everything you've planned, your team, your training, all your tech gets put to the test, not on paper, but in a real, functioning environment. And this really gets to the heart of it. You know, it's one thing to read a training manual or set up a software system. It's a completely different world to actually perform those tasks when you're under pressure, with a guest waiting, and let's be honest, when things inevitably start to go wrong. The simulation is the bridge between just knowing what to do and actually doing it. Okay, so how do we start building that bridge? Let's move to section 2, the realistic rehearsal. It all begins with the first practical step, the mock service. And just to be crystal clear, these are so much more than a simple walkthrough. A mock service is essentially a full-scale rehearsal. We bring in people to act as guests. It could be other staff members, your suppliers, even friends and family. But here's the crucial twist. Their job is not to have a lovely time. No, their assignment is to be your most demanding critics. We want them to test every single detail and find the cracks in the system. Now, as the manager, your role here is absolutely pivotal. You are the director of this controlled chaos. You have to assign specific, challenging roles to your guests. You'll focus each run on a different aspect. Maybe one is all about lunch rush speed, while another tests the complexity of a fine dining dinner service. And most importantly, you track the data, hard data. We're talking POS speed, ticket times, error rates, everything. And now for what I believe is the most valuable part of this entire process. Section 3, manufacturing a crisis. This is where we go beyond just rehearsing and start intentionally breaking things. Imagine this for a second. You're right in the middle of a busy mock service, and you just announce the POS system is down. What happens next? Does the team fall apart? Or do they smoothly pivot to the manual backup procedures you train them on? This one test tells you everything you need to know about your team's real-world adaptability. Or here's another great one. We call it the all-at-once scenario. You tell all your mock guests to arrive and place their orders within the same 15-minute window. You're creating a massive, sudden surge. The goal? To push the kitchen and the front of house to their absolute breaking point. It's how you find every single bottleneck before a paying customer ever does. And this one might be the most important of all. A guest suddenly reports a complex and severe allergy. This is so much more than a service test. It's a test of your entire safety protocol, your HACCP. The communication from the server to the kitchen and back again has to be flawless. There's absolutely zero room for error here, and this test makes sure your procedures are bulletproof. So why do we do all this? Why create these problems on purpose? It's simple. We're forcing the team out of their comfort zone. We're exposing the gaps in our training and finding the breaking points in our technology. And by doing all that, we are building a team that is resilient, confident, and genuinely prepared for opening day. So, after all that controlled chaos, it's time for some calm, structured analysis. The simulation might be over, but in many ways, the real work is just getting started. Welcome to Section 4, the After-Action Review. The After-Action Review, or AAR, has a golden rule. It is a blame-free zone. We are never, ever there to point fingers. The whole point is to work together to answer three very simple but very powerful questions. 1. What exactly happened? 2. What was the root cause? And 3, the big one, how are we going to fix it so it never happens again? And this conversation is always driven by data, not drama. We're looking at the cold, hard facts from the POS reports, the kitchen timers. Take a look at this example. Our target ticket time was under 25 minutes. The actual was 32. Our void rate was more than double the target. These aren't opinions. These are facts that tell us exactly where we need to focus our attention. And here's the most critical part. The findings from the AAR can't just live in a report. They have to translate into immediate, real-world action. We're not just discussing problems, we are actively solving them. Whether that means redesigning a POS screen, adjusting a procedure in the kitchen, or adding a new scenario to our training program. And all this rigorous work brings us to our final section and our ultimate goal, being 100% ready for a flawless opening day. You can literally see the power of this process in this chart. With every cycle of test and review, the team's readiness just climbs and climbs. You spot the issues in run 1, you fix them, and then boom, performance is way better in run 2. By the time you get to run 3, you're getting incredibly close to operational excellence. So when do you know you're ready? When do you finally open the doors to the public? The answer is simple, and it's driven by your data. You are ready when your after-action reviews come back clean, when you've completely eliminated all critical and especially all recurring failures. The numbers will tell you when it's time. Ultimately, this whole process is guided by a powerful philosophy, one that is a cornerstone of your education here. The goal is never perfection on the first attempt. That's just not realistic. The real goal is to build a team and a system that is designed for constant learning and rapid adaptation. That is the true sign of excellence. And so I'll leave you with this thought to take into your careers. When it's your turn to lead an opening, the question won't be if you'll run a simulation. The question will be, what will you simulate? What critical failure will you design first to make absolutely sure your team is ready for reality? Thank you.